Let us go to the big Notice Live exclusive from Nagaland. The centre is holding urgent talks with the NSCN-IM and the NNPG with the twin agenda of moving towards a final solution to the long-standing Naga issue and to try and de-escalate the situation in Manipur as neutral entities. Well-informed sources told Notice Live that delegations of the NSCN-IM and NNPGs will be leaving for New Delhi soon for talks with the union government leaders. Significantly, a crucial round of talks between the two key Naga stakeholders with the central government leaders has already been held in New Delhi last week on these two issues, removing the bottlenecks for a solution to the Naga political issue and the immediate task of restoring peace in Manipur. The Manipur government and several stakeholders in the state have, however, been demanding that there should not be any division of Manipur while working out a permanent solution to the Naga issue. The Meitei groups as well as Chief Minister 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗙 have been voicing opposition to the intensified Kuki demand for a separate administration as well. The role of the Nagas, both in Manipur and adjoining Nagaland, have been highly appreciated and acknowledged by all quarters for their neutral position in the current Kuki-Meitei conflict that has devastated Manipur during the past nearly 70 days. On Thursday, a 30-member Naga delegation under the banner of the Nagaland Joint Action Forum visited Imphal and proposed peace talks between the Kukis and Meiteis at a neutral location in Kohima or Dimapur. The delegation was welcomed by the Interfaith Forum for Peace and Harmony in Manipur. In fact, Manipur Chief Minister 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗙 has told Notice Live during a recent interview that he was in touch with Naga leaders in Manipur and have requested them to be in contact with the Kuki leadership in a bid to restore peace. The Naga legislators in Manipur too have been making efforts to broker peace. The upcoming Delhi meeting of the NSCN-IM and the NNPG with central government officials and leaders have triggered fresh speculations of an imminent resolution of the decades-old Naga issue. Well, viewers, this is the big story at this time. This is a Notice Live exclusive. The centre is going to hold talks with the NSCN-IM and the NNPG in New Delhi soon. The delegations of the NSCN-IM and NNPG will be leaving for New Delhi soon to have talks with the Government of India officials as well as Government of India leaders. The talks will be in two fronts. One, the immediate task of restoring peace in Nagaland, the role that can be possibly played by these two groups. That's what the centre thinks. And secondly, of course, to remove the bottlenecks in reaching an imminent solution to the long-standing Naga issue. In fact, sources have told Notice Live that last week already the two groups, that is the NSCN-IM and NNPGs, have held already one round of talks with the Government of India and now the second round of talks. So one can well ask the question whether the Naga talks, Naga solution is coming soon. That is also uppermost in the minds of everybody in the region, particularly in Nagaland. So this meeting, back-to-back meetings between the NNPG and the NSCN-IM in New Delhi has triggered fresh speculations, fresh hopes of an imminent solution to the Naga issue. And of course, the Government of India sources have told us that another idea of this talk is to use the services of these Naga stakeholders, prominent Naga organizations, to try and restore imminent peace in Nagaland. At this point in time, viewers, I am joined from Nagaland by Reverend 𝗡𝗢𝗏𝗘 Iyer. Dr. 𝗡𝗢𝗏𝗘 Iyer is with the Forum for Naga Reconciliation, a very respected voice from Nagaland, very respected voice from Nagaland. In fact, the delegation, he was part of the 30-member delegation that was in Imphal yesterday under the banner of the Nagaland Church, and let me talk to Naga Reconciliation Forum. Let us talk to Dr. 𝗡𝗢𝗏𝗘 Iyer. Dr. 𝗡𝗢𝗏𝗘 Iyer, you were in Imphal yesterday. At the press club where you gave a very positive speech. You said that the Naga Churs and as well as the prominent Naga individuals will be willing to talk peace between the two clashing communities at a neutral venue, whether it is Kohima or in Dimapur. How do you view the situation? What has been the response?
Well, thank you for this question. We were there because we felt that our Northeast cannot go on like this. We felt that neighbors, as good neighbors in that sense, must do something constructive for our brothers and sisters in Manipur. And we went there not because we are experts. In all humbleness, we went there saying that we are here, willing to work with you. You are going through a very, very difficult time. We are not trying to accuse anyone, any particular group. Now, the media attention has been focused on the effects, meaning what's going on in the context. It's all about it's a story, a narrative about two different groups fighting against one another.
Right.
So often the media is so focused on what is happening because there is also an interest along the line. We were saying, let us move away from that. It is time that we look forward. We need a new imagination.
Yes.
That will lead us forward. It's a difficult moment, but we must begin immediately. Give peace a chance. That was our appeal.
Reverend 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗘, what is the sense that you got from your meeting yesterday? You had met with several people, several well-meaning people during your visit to Manipur. What is the sense you got? Do you think you will be able to push ahead with this meeting between the two communities, that is the Kukis and the Meiteis?
Well, first of all, the message, the language that we heard from them was, we want peace. We want to live in harmony. There's no one out there who would say, well, we want to continue at this rate. No, nobody. I think sensible people are in both communities. You have intellectuals, you have people with a sense of responsibility, goodwill towards everyone. And so the feeling is very, very genuine, very authentic, that we want to live in peace and harmony. Let us build the future together. We have gone through a lot. We need to build the future together. I think that's the kind of a message we have heard loud and clear. Now, it is, of course, that's the wish, the desire of the people. But now, the focus should be, how do we begin? And as I said, we don't have a magical answer. I don't have the Aladdin lamp to say this is the path. But we must begin. We must, therefore, our delegates have said to the press people that.
Dr. 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗘, my final question to you. You see, the central government has invited the NSCN-IM and the NNPGS to New Delhi for two reasons. One, to see if they can help in any way in restoring peace in Manipur, and secondly, to remove the bottlenecks as far as the Naga solution is concerned. Now, my question is, do you think the NSCN-IM and the NNPGS can contribute in de-escalating the situation in Manipur?
Well, we all know that this is a very, very complex situation. And I think the government should have some kind of imagination, not only to manage the situation, but to bring a solution in a very creative way, constructive manner. Today, the world, especially the Northeast, has become very complex. We need to be thinking constructively perhaps with a different kind of a model,
right?
But within the system. And this is possible if the government has a political will to do, not just simply keep on managing the situation.
Absolutely. Dr. Wadhwa, thank you very much indeed for speaking to me on Northeast Live. This is Evening News Break. I am now joined by 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗪𝗓, the General Secretary of the Naga Hohos. Mr. 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗪𝗓, Mr. 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗪𝗓, the Government of India has invited the NSCN-IM and the NNPGS for talks to New Delhi. It already held one round of talks last week, and they have invited the two groups to New Delhi for two reasons this time. Earlier it was only for peace talks, but now this time the Government of India wants to see if the NSCN-IM and the NNPGS can help in any way in de-escalating the situation in Manipur and restoring peace. What do you think?
Yeah, was there. I think this is the responsibility of every citizen to see that normalcy and peace is restored in Manipur. Every ethnic communities have its own aspirations, has its own vision. But sadly, the government of India is failing to address the issues that concerns the people in Manipur. And I think as neighbor, we are equally responsible to join them, to express, to stand by them and support, extend our solidarity and see that the issue is resolved amicably, taking into confidence people.
Right. Now, Mr. 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗪𝗓, yesterday the 30-member delegation under the banner of the Nagaland Joint Action Forum had visited Imphal, and they have invited the two sides to come and talk to each other at a neutral venue like Kohima or Dimapur. My question to you, 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗪𝗓, is a Naga Hohos delegation likely to go to Manipur?
Absolutely, we have been extending our support and solidarity, and yes, we have met even the aggrieved party like the cookies, though it was not made public. Our effort is on. Definitely, we are also looking for an opportunity if our visit can also help them in bringing about better understanding and cooperation among the people.
Right. You said you have met the cookies. Are you also willing to meet the Métis? Obviously, isn't it?
Definitely. In fact, we are also reaching out to them and appealing to them. So we are also looking for examples where both the parties can come together. Not necessarily meeting separately with different communities, but as far as possible, we want to mediate and then meet all the groups.
Absolutely. Mr. 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗪𝗓, thank you very much for speaking to Northeast Live. A Naga Hohos delegation has already reached out to the cookies, and as 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗓, the secretary of the Naga Hohos, has just said, the Naga Hohos will also be reaching out to the Métis. In fact, they said that they are trying to reach out to them, and it is even possible that the Naga Hohos delegation too will be visiting Manipur to try and contribute their bit in restoring peace in the state. The big story there at this point, central government is holding talks with NSCN-IM and the NNPGs. We don't know whether the talks will be held jointly between the NSCN-IM and the NNPGs, but it is possible that after separate meetings with the NSCN-IM and the NNPG, the center may even hold a joint round of talks with them. We don't know yet. We will confirm as soon as we get that story. That's a big story coming to you only on Notice Live at this hour. Now on to Manipur. The situation in Manipur appears to be turning more complex following the beheading of a Kuki youth on July the 2nd. There are now reports of the brutal killing of at least 2 valley people who had earlier been captured from the periphery areas. During the last 3 days, hundreds of Kuki protesters, many of them in olive green battle fatigues, have been converging in 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗪 to express their protest over the brutal killing of the youth. In the valley, mobs have been running amok with neither government nor the civil society appearing to have any control over them. The question now is the Kuki heartland heading for a similar situation? We hope not. As of now, the entire Kuki civil society is reported to have been camping in 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗪. The center is trying its best to deal with the situation and has deployed enough central forces in the periphery areas in a bid to create some kind of a buffer zone. With neither the Manipur government nor the civil society in the state having succeeded so far in de-escalating the tension, can Naga groups succeed in at least restoring a temporary truce? Now, the big question is that the buffer zone has been created by the central government. There has been a huge deployment of security forces in the buffer zones. The bunkers are being destroyed. If you can have some visuals of the bunkers being destroyed. The bunkers have been destroyed in the last 2 to 3 days. This was following a decision, following an announcement by Chief Minister 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗔𝗦𝗧. The bunkers have been the positions from where both communities have been guarding their respective villages, often leading to firefights from within the safe confines of these bunkers. So these bunkers are being destroyed, and today, in fact, the Superintendent of Police of 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗡 have been appealing to people not to cross the line, not to cross the buffer zone, not to appealing. He has made an appeal only this morning. Mr. 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗡 is the Superintendent of Police of 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗡 district. He has been appealing to the people not to cross the buffer zone for their safety, and the Superintendent of Police in 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗡 said that the state will be quite capable of protecting the people. That is what is the assurance given by the SP today. So this is a big story coming in from Manipur, that there are convergence of people to express protest. There has been brutal killings and counter killings, and this is something that is a matter of concern at this point. And only this morning there has been a firing incident. Despite the peace, for the presence of intermittent violence is continuing in the periphery areas, and earlier today at least 3 persons were reportedly been killed in a fresh gunfight. As per sources, the gun battle broke out before dawn near the 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗡𝗏 village in the Bishnupur-𝗡𝗢𝗡 border. 2 people from the hillside and 1 from the valley side are reported to have been killed in the incident. Few others were reportedly injured. So this is the development as far as Manipur is concerned today. Well, we will go to a breaking news. We have a breaking news coming in that the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum and the Zomi Revolutionary Organization, which is a constituent of the United People's Front, which is a Sioux group, are reportedly holding talks with the center today, discussing the current situation in Manipur. As per sources, the 2 organizations were called to New Delhi by the central government for talks. This is the big breaking story. ITLF, Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum, which is an important civil society group in the hill areas of Manipur, based in 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗡, and the ZRO, Zomi Revolutionary Organization, which is one of the 7 constituent units of the United People's Front. United People's Front is a group which is under the suspension of operation agreements. They are holding talks at this point in time in New Delhi with the union government, and they have been invited by the center for talks. And sources privy to some of these discussions are speculating that these talks could be over the reopening of the National Highway 2, which is one of the lifelines, one of the 2 lifelines to Manipur. In fact, National Highway 2, despite the announcement by the KNO and the UPF that it has already been open last week, there has been opposition to this by organizations like the ITLF, the KOKI-INP, and one part of the UPF, that is the ZRO, and therefore the center is holding talks with them. Perhaps they are discussing this issue, that is the reopening of the National Highway 2, which is one of the lifelines to the Imphal Valley.